My fiancée was still wearing the white dress when she walked out of the restaurant with her ex-boyfriend. I watched through the window as Ryan opened the passenger door of his SUV. Claire looked back once, saw me standing there, then got in anyway. 10 minutes earlier, she had leaned close and said, "Ryan's upset. I'm going to talk to him for a little while." At our engagement party? "Don't start, Daniel. He's going through something." Then she grabbed her purse and left me standing beside a table covered with cards, flowers, and a cake with our wedding date written across the top. Her father asked where she was going. I said, "With Ryan." He stared at me, then looked toward the parking lot. "You're letting her leave?" I didn't answer. I picked up my phone, walked into the hallway near the restrooms, and searched for the number of Hawthorne Gardens, the venue we had booked 6 months earlier. Our wedding was 11 weeks away. I had paid the $4,800 deposit from my account. The manager answered on the fourth ring. "Hawthorne Gardens, this is Melissa." "Hi, this is Daniel Matthew. I have a wedding booked for October 18th. "Yes, Mr. Matthew. How can I help you?" "I need to cancel it." There was a pause. "Cancel the wedding?" "Cancel the venue." She explained that I would lose $1,600 because of the cancellation window. I told her I understood. At 10:43 p.m., the confirmation email hit my inbox. Canceled. I stared at that word until it felt final. Claire still wasn't home. Then, at 11:18, my phone lit up with her name. I answered. She didn't say hello. She said, "Why did my mother just call me screaming about the venue?" "I'm Daniel Matthew, 32. I work as a project manager for a commercial construction company. Claire and I had been together for 4 years and engaged for 10 months. Until that night, I thought we were solid. We met through friends at a summer cookout. Claire was funny, organized, and very close to her family. We moved in together after 2 years. I proposed on our 3rd anniversary. Ryan was the one subject that always felt strange. He was Claire's college boyfriend. They dated for almost 3 years and broke up when he moved to Denver for work. Claire told me the breakup was painful but finished. At first, Ryan was just a name. Then he moved back to our city 6 months before our engagement party. Claire mentioned it while we were eating dinner. "Ryan's back." I looked up. "Your ex?" "Yeah, he got transferred. That matter to us?" She laughed. "No, I'm just telling you." A week later, he followed her again on Instagram. Then they started texting. Nothing I saw looked romantic. At least not openly. He sent jokes. She sent photos of restaurants. Once, he asked about our wedding date. I told Claire the amount of contact made me uncomfortable. She sighed. "Daniel, I'm marrying you." "I know." "Then trust me." I did. That became my mistake. The engagement party was Claire's mother's idea. About 40 people, private room at an Italian restaurant, open bar, speeches, photos, the whole thing. 2 days before it, Claire told me Ryan might stop by. I thought I had heard her wrong. "Why would your ex come to our engagement party? He knows a lot of my old friends. It'll be weird to exclude him." He wasn't invited. I invited him. That was the first time I seriously considered calling the whole thing off. Claire saw my face and reached for my hand. "He'll stay 20 minutes. Please don't make this into something." I should have listened to the part of me that wanted to say no. Instead, I said, 20 minutes. Ryan stayed almost 3 hours. Ryan arrived around 7:40 p.m. He wore a gray jacket and carried a bottle of bourbon for Claire's father. He shook my hand. "Congratulations, man." "Thanks." Then Claire hugged him. It wasn't a quick hello. She wrapped both arms around him, and he put one hand on the middle of her back. When they stepped apart, Ryan looked at her ring. "Still can't believe you're actually doing it." Claire laughed. "Neither can I sometimes." I heard it. So did Claire's cousin Jenna, who was standing beside me. Jenna looked at me. I looked at Claire. Claire had already turned away. For the next 2 hours, Ryan kept finding his way back to her. At the bar, near the cake, outside the private room. Every time I looked over, they were talking. Around 9:30, Claire's father gave a toast. To Daniel and Claire. May this be the start of a long, happy marriage. Everyone raised a glass. Ryan did too. But he didn't look at me. He looked at Claire. 20 minutes later, I saw them talking near the restaurant entrance. Ryan's face was tight. Claire touched his arm. Then she came to me. Ryan's upset. About what? He thought he was ready for tonight. He wasn't. I stared at her. Ready to watch you get engaged? Daniel, what exactly is he upset about? She lowered her voice. He still has feelings. I didn't know. I almost laughed. And now, I'm going to talk to him. At our engagement party? Just for a little while. No. Her expression changed. No. You're not leaving our engagement party to comfort your ex because he's sad you're marrying me. He shouldn't drive like this. Then call him a cab. You're being cruel. I'm being very clear. Ryan pushed through the front door behind her. Claire grabbed her purse from the gift table. Don't start, Daniel. He's going through something. She walked away before I answered. A few people saw her leave. I watched Ryan open his passenger door. Claire looked straight through the restaurant window at me. Then she got in. That was the moment the wedding ended. She just didn't know it yet. After I canceled Hawthorne Gardens, I went back into the party. Claire's mother, Linda, caught me near the cake. Where is she? With Ryan. Her smile disappeared. She left. Yes. Daniel, I'm sure there's an explanation. There is. She chose to leave. I stayed another 20 minutes because my parents were there and I didn't want them cleaning up the mess alone. At 11:18, Claire called. Why did my mother just call me screaming about the venue? Because I canceled it. You canceled our wedding venue? Yes. Daniel, are you insane? No. You did this because I left for 1 hour? You left our engagement party with your ex-boyfriend. He was upset. So was I. That's different. I actually smiled when she said that. You're right. It is. What is that supposed to mean? It means you made your choice in front of 40 people. I made mine in a hallway. She went silent. Then I heard Ryan in the background. Claire, give me the phone. I said, don't. What? Do not put him on my phone. Daniel, nothing happened. I didn't ask. Another pause. I'm coming home. Okay. She arrived at 12:06 a.m. I was sitting at the kitchen table with the venue cancellation email open on my laptop. She came through the door still wearing the white dress. Tell me you can undo this. I can't. Her face changed. Call them tomorrow. No. You lost $1,600 because you had a tantrum. I lost $1,600 because I learned something before I lost a lot more. She dropped her purse on the counter. I was helping someone I care about. That's the problem. He's my friend. He told you he still loves you, and you left your engagement party with him. She crossed her arms. And I came home. I looked at the clock. 2 hours and 26 minutes later. Her eyes filled with tears. So what? We're just done. I closed the laptop. Claire, when a woman leaves her engagement party to comfort the man she used to love because he's upset she's marrying someone else, there shouldn't be a wedding. For the first time that night, she had nothing to say. Claire slept in the bedroom. I slept on the couch. At 6:50 a.m., I woke up, made coffee, and started going through our wedding folder. The venue was already gone. The photographer had a $900 deposit from my card. The DJ had $600. The honeymoon hotel had a refundable reservation for $2,340. At 7:32, I emailed the photographer. At 7:46, I canceled the DJ. At 8:05, I canceled the hotel. I lost another $700 in deposits. I got the full hotel amount back. By 8:20, every wedding expense under my name was either canceled or frozen. Claire came into the kitchen wearing sweatpants. What are you doing? Finishing what I started. She grabbed the folder from the table. You canceled the photographer too? Yes. The DJ? Yes. Her voice rose. Stop canceling things. There is no wedding. You don't get to decide that by yourself. I looked at her. I absolutely get to decide whether I'm getting married. She started crying. This is crazy. I made one bad choice. No, you made several choices. You invited Ryan without asking me. You spent the night talking to him. He told you he still wanted you. Then you left with him. I told you nothing happened. Did you go to his apartment? She looked away. That answered me before she spoke. We stopped there because he needed to calm down. Inside, yes. How long? Maybe 40 minutes. I nodded. She snapped. Why are you acting so calm? Because I don't need more information. She stared at me. Then she said the sentence that ended any doubt I had left. You're throwing away 4 years because you're insecure about Ryan. I picked up my coffee. No, I'm throwing away 11 weeks of wedding plans because I finally became secure enough to stop competing with him. She looked like I had slapped her. I went to the bedroom, packed a bag, and took my laptop and work clothes. Before I left, I put my apartment key on the counter. Claire followed me to the door. Where are you going? My brother's. For how long? I opened the door. Long enough for you to understand that canceled means canceled. My phone started ringing before I reached the parking lot. By noon, I had 12 missed calls from Claire, 4 from her mother, and 2 from numbers I didn't know. I answered none of them. Then Jenna texted me. Claire's cousin, one of her bridesmaids. Daniel, I think you need to know something about Ryan. I called her. She answered on the first ring. I'm sorry, she said. I should have told you before. Told me what? Claire's been talking about him for weeks. I sat down on the edge of my brother's guest bed. What kind of talking? Jenna took a breath. Comparing you. Apparently, Claire had a bridesmaids group chat I knew nothing about. After Ryan moved back, Claire started mentioning him more. Ryan was spontaneous. Ryan understood her sense of humor. Ryan remembered the version of her from college. Then, 3 weeks before our engagement party, Ryan sent Claire a message after seeing one of our wedding posts. Jenna read it to me from a screenshot Claire had shared with the group. Wrong guy got the ring. I didn't say anything. Jenna continued. Claire replied with a laughing emoji and said, little late now. Did she tell him to stop? No. What did she tell you girls? That she liked knowing he regretted losing her. There it was. Not an accident. Not one emotional night. Claire had been feeding the situation because she liked being wanted by both of us. Jenna sent me 4 screenshots. Nothing sexual. Nothing I could point to and call an affair. I didn't need that. One message from Claire said, Daniel is safe. Ryan is chaos. Sometimes I miss chaos. Another said, I'd never ruin my wedding over him, but I'd be lying if I said I felt nothing. That one stayed on my screen for a long time. At 2:14 p.m., Claire texted again. Please come home. We need to fix this before our parents make it worse. I finally replied. You said you'd never ruin your wedding over Ryan. 3 dots appeared. Stopped. Appeared again. Then she wrote, Who sent you that? I didn't answer, because at that point, the answer didn't matter. She had written it. And then she had done exactly that. The next 3 days were chaos for Claire. Not for me. I went to work, stayed with my brother, changed the passwords on the wedding website, and removed my card from the last 2 vendor accounts. Claire kept calling. Her mother kept calling. Then, on Thursday night, Linda sent one text. I saw the screenshots. I'm sorry. That was the last message I got from her for a while. Claire had been telling her parents that I canceled everything because she gave Ryan a ride home. Jenna's screenshots destroyed that version. Now her family knew she had invited Ryan to the party after I objected. They knew he had told her he still had feelings. They knew she had been comparing us for weeks. But the part one didn't expect came on Friday. My friend Marcus had gone to college with Ryan. They weren't close, but they still had mutual friends. Marcus called me after work. You're going to enjoy this less than you think. What happened? Ryan backed off. I sat up. What do you mean? Claire apparently went to see him Wednesday. And he told her he wasn't trying to start a relationship. I almost thought Marcus was joking. Ryan had spent weeks sending messages about regret. He showed up to our engagement party. He admitted he still had feelings. But once there was no fiancée to compete with, the fantasy changed. According to Marcus, Ryan told Claire he had only been processing old feelings. He said he never asked her to cancel her wedding. Claire didn't take that well. She told him he blew up her life, Marcus said. What did he say? That she was the one who got in his car. I leaned back and closed my eyes. For days, Claire had called me insecure. She had acted like I was the unreasonable one standing between her and an innocent friendship. Now the man she defended was using the same argument I had used. Her choices were hers. Marcus asked, "You okay?" "Yeah." "You don't sound happy." "I'm not." And I meant it. I didn't need Claire destroyed. I just needed to never be her backup plan again. But the wedding venue had one more surprise coming. The following Monday, Melissa from Hawthorne Gardens called me. "Mr. Matthew, I wanted to update you about your cancellation. I expected another fee. Instead, she said a couple on their waiting list had taken October 18th. Because the date had been rebooked, the venue could return another $900 of my deposit." I laughed once. "Seriously?" "Yes. You should see it within 5 business days." "Thank you." I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. Claire called me at 3:11 that afternoon from her sister's phone. I answered because I thought there might finally be something practical to discuss. She didn't say hello. "You gave away our date?" "I canceled our date. They booked someone else." "Yes." "You knew?" "I found out this morning." She sounded out of breath. "I called them to fix it. Melissa said October 18th is gone." I didn't reply. Claire started crying. "Daniel, I thought once you calmed down, we could talk. I thought we could postpone things for a few weeks and work through this." "You thought wrong. We spent a year planning that wedding. And you spent one engagement party showing me why it shouldn't happen. Ryan means nothing to me now." The word now did all the work. I said, "That doesn't help you. I chose you." "No." Ryan stepped back. "That's not the same thing." Silence. Then she whispered, "That's cruel." "No, Claire. Cruel would be marrying you while knowing I'll spend the rest of my life wondering whether you choose me only when he isn't available." She started to say something. I cut her off. "We need to handle the apartment and the furniture. That's all we need to discuss." I hung up. 2 days later, the $900 refund landed in my account. The date that had controlled our lives for almost a year now belonged to 2 strangers. Claire couldn't call the venue and undo it. Her mother couldn't pay extra and undo it. Ryan couldn't undo it. For the first time since she got into his SUV, there was nothing left to negotiate. It's been 3 months. Claire moved out of the apartment 6 weeks after the engagement party. We split the furniture without much drama. I kept the couch, my desk, and the things I had bought before we lived together. She took the dining set and most of the kitchen stuff. The engagement ring came back too. She left it in its box on the counter when she picked up her last things. I sold it back to the jeweler for less than I paid. I didn't care. Ryan is not with Claire. From what I heard through Marcus, he started dating someone else about a month after everything happened. Claire found out through Instagram. That apparently caused another fight between them. I stayed out of it. Jenna told me Claire finally admitted to her family that she liked the attention from Ryan and convinced herself she could keep that excitement while still marrying me. She thought I would be angry. She thought I would yell. Most of all, she thought I would stay. That was the part she got wrong. I still think about the engagement party sometimes. Not the cancellation call. Not the money. I think about the moment Claire looked through that restaurant window before getting into Ryan's SUV. She knew I was watching. She still got in. People can argue about whether I acted too fast. Maybe another person would have waited until morning. Maybe someone else would have demanded explanations, checked phones, asked 100 questions, or tried counseling first. I didn't need any of that. The wedding wasn't canceled because my fiancé had an ex. It was canceled because, when that ex asked her to choose his feelings over mine on the night we were celebrating our future, she did it in front of me. I just believed her choice. Sometimes the most expensive mistake is not losing a deposit. It's ignoring the moment someone shows you exactly where you stand. If you were in my place, would you have canceled the venue that night or waited until she came home? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy stories like this, subscribe for more.